Hello everybody, my name's TankRunner, and welcome to another episode of Drawing Roulettes and World Building. Today we're going to continue working on our project to create a new Pokemon region. Last episode we worked on the Pokemon you can find in our first wild area, Punchbug, the meat ant Pokemon, who evolves into Jabberant, Spinarak, the redback Pokemon, who evolves into Ariados, and Wallabam, the kangaroo Pokemon, who evolves into either Galvaroo if female or Kangaskhan if male. In this video, I'll be covering Route 2 of our region and the new Pokemon that can be found there. But I want to kick us off with a few updates and some world building, so if you're not interested in that and just want to skip to the part where you get to see all the adorable monsters, here's a time code for that. Alright, just the real fans left now? Okay, cool. So quick question. What the f*** do you people want from me? I pour my blood, sweat, and tears into this channel, and this is how you f***ing repay me? I'm gonna drive to your house in the middle of the night.
Is this part in the script?
It's under the rock on your porch, right?
He's gone rogue! We've got a code black! Somebody do something!
Oh, you, Kevin. What? Oh, somebody do something. Get off your fucking high horse. Guys?
We're all just standing around!
Guys?
So are you f***head!
Guys! I'm gonna marry your dad! And then, when your will is finally broken into a million pieces, I'm gonna find a pine cone and I'm gonna shove it up your Thaw out another one. In one of my last videos, I briefly asked you guys what kind of content you'd like to see from me going forward, but I'd like to circle around and discuss that in a little bit more detail. I recently released another installment of my Let's Draw YouTubers as D&D Characters series, and it did not do well. I knew it wouldn't be nearly as popular as my Pokemon series, because those videos seem to be on a whole nother level, but I didn't think it would do this bad. I was worried because I knew my next upload was going to be my Q&A, but then you guys really liked that one. It's actually the best performing non-Pokemon video I have on my channel. Needless to say, that threw me for a loop, just reiterating that I have no idea what I'm doing here. Maybe that video was just bad? I don't know. This isn't meant to guilt you guys into watching that video, by the way. I make content that I'm interested in and that I think people will like. But now that I'm starting to build up a fan base, I don't want to just make something with broad appeal. I want to make sure that you guys continue to enjoy what I make. I'm obviously going to finish our Pokemon region, and I have some ideas for another monster taming project after the region's done, to sort of help fans transition from the Pokemon series to some of my other content. A lot of you also brought up the animated segments in my videos, if you can call them that, and said that you would like to see some short comedic animations on the channel. I really like that idea, so look forward to me testing out a few videos like that in the future. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Like I said before, if you have any ideas for videos that you'd like to see me do in the future and fit the general vibe of my channel, let me know in the comments. And be sure to upvote any ideas you see down there that you like, so I can see what concepts have the most support. Next up, let's talk about Route 2. Route 2 is just south of the first wild area and is one of the few directions you can go once you leave the first town. There's usually a forest or wooded area somewhere near the beginning of most regions, so I've decided that Route 2 will basically be the bush. With the dense brush and a more closed-in space, I thought it would make more sense for this area to be a route because of it having specific paths going through it opposed to just being an open space like a wild area. Here's a list of all the Pokemon you can catch on this route from most common to rare, with open slots for the new Pokemon designs I'm about to show off. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm having a hard time coming up with things to say about this first design. It's a kookaburra, a fairly common bird in Australia, and one of my favorite animals in real life. I spent a lot of time on this one because I wanted to do it justice, but that can be hard with normal flying type bird Pokemon. It's really easy to make a design that's just a cartoon version of the real life bird. So I took some liberties with the design to make it look interesting without it looking unrecognizable to its inspiration. Kuka, the kookaburra Pokemon. Sweet music filtering through a forest can usually be attributed to a group of Kuka, who often gather in large numbers to sing. Kuka are so intelligent that they are capable of regularly creating new songs that they haven't heard elsewhere. Along with music, a trainer may hear a kind of laughter coming from a small gathering of these Pokemon, as Kuka enjoy telling jokes to each other, often at a human's expense. Based on the things I know about the Kookaburra, I really wanted to make this evolved form be flying fighting type, but there was a big problem with that. I wanted to imply that this Pokemon is good at fighting other birds, but that wasn't really going to track well because that typing is weak to flying. I was too interested in the type combination at this point, so I decided I'd once again find an ability to make up for this shortcoming. Something like Punk Rock maybe? Remove the 30% buff and make the half damage affect flying moves? Or maybe a twist on Delta Stream, making flying moves do neutral damage instead? Add in a hidden ability like Aerolate, and we've got ourselves a pretty useful bird Pokemon. Burrabash, the evolved form of Kuka. Burrabash are surprisingly dense and muscular, making them a threat to other lighter bird Pokemon. They primarily hunt by knocking smaller Pokemon out of the sky or using their surrounding to aid them in combat, slamming their prey against nearby rocks and trees. Burrabash have gained a reputation of being a brutal predator, but many would be surprised as to how kind and docile they can really be. They have the ability to quickly make lifelong bonds with people or other Pokemon that are larger than them. I've said before that the Pokemon I choose to make variants of are ones that I believe were poorly handled or lack love from the community. So you might be a bit confused about why Nickit is here. The reason Nickit is here is not because I think the design is bad, or because I think its move selection is awful. I do, and it is, but that's not why it's here. It's here because its typing leaves something to be desired, and because it turns into Thievul. I'll explain more in a second. Nickit, the red fox Pokemon. Aided by the soft pads on its feet, Nickit like to play tricks and steal things from travelers that aren't paying attention. The games that these Pokemon play are mischievous, but are never worse than a minor inconvenience towards their targets. Thievul is one of the worst Pokemon designs I have ever seen. People shit on me for saying that Gen 1 designs are good by saying that most of those designs are just animals. We're not gonna get into that today, but this is straight up just a fox. A fox with random shapes and details added to it because they didn't have a solid concept in mind. You can tell that they thought it was too plain, so they just started slapping stuff onto it until they thought it was good enough. This mustache is a sign of a man at the end of his rope. I just have to get this fox done so I can go home to my family. God, what do I do? What the f do I do?
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Great, thanks. Yeah, almost done. Thanks. See you later, bud. Done. Thievul, the evolved form of Nickit. Thievul like to roll around in mud as much as they can. Because of this, their scent is hidden, giving them the opportunity to stalk their prey closer than other predators. This Pokemon is less likely to attack their prey, and more likely to follow them back to their nests to steal their eggs for food. Originally, I was going to have this Pokemon be a normal ground type, but I didn't want to step on Pinley's toes, so I decided there's not really a problem making it a straight normal type with access to a few ground moves instead, and becoming the first single type of our region. Wombo, the Wombat Pokemon. Many young trainers make Wombo their first Pokemon, since they make for extremely friendly and loving companions, trusting their owner absolutely. Finding one may be difficult, since their burrows are often far from the beaten path, but they are communal creatures, so if you find one, you will undoubtedly find many more just a few steps away. Once I decided to make Wombo a normal type, I was worried about the drastic change to its weaknesses and resistances once it evolved. I wasn't going to stick with the normal typing, so it was going to lose its immunity to Ghost. That's fine mechanically, but I wanted to come up with something to make these two Pokemon feel more realistically connected to each other. So I once again looked through the list of Pokemon abilities and came across Scrappy, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, to allow normal and fighting moves to hit ghosts. So it may lose its immunity to Ghost upon evolving, but it will still retain some knowledge of how to fight them. That, combined with something like Thick Fat or Fluffy to make up for its long list of weaknesses, will create a pretty hefty close quarters combatant, which is exactly what I was going for. Womdarug, the evolved form of Wombo. Womdarug are known for being very protective, so they're sometimes given to younger trainers by their parents before heading outside of the city walls alone for the first time. However, wild Womdarug are often the defenders of Wombo communities, so they are usually very aggressive and territorial. These Pokemon love to dig and leave massive underground tunnels crisscrossing all over their territory. Do not, under any circumstance, climb down into a Womdarug tunnel. Komala's design isn't necessarily bad, it's just boring. That and it being a normal type is a deadly combination. It's enough to make me drowsy and comatose, am I right? I hate myself. Komala, the koala Pokemon. Komala are very light sleepers and can become dangerous when awoken. Rangers that work closely with this Pokemon have gotten used to keeping their minds quiet while handling them. Just being passed by a person who can't calm their mind of worries is enough to stir a sleeping Komala. The severity of the aggression towards a traveler that wakes them will scale depending on if the Komala deems their thoughts worth worrying about. The less important the concern, the more likely this Pokemon is to attack the source of these thoughts. 35 down, 116 to go. How do you guys think I did? Let me know what your updated teams are in the comments below. I think Kuka and Wombo would make their way onto mine. My next upload is going to be another installment of my D&D Pantheon series. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out. If you want to take a crack at drawing any of the prompts I've done, or you want to send me some artwork to help flesh out some of my worlds, please send them to me over on my Twitter. I'd love to see what you guys make. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.